He's dead.
Hey, it's Jackow's Ghost, and it's also spooky season, so I've got a spooky mission for you. It's not the spookiest mission out there, but it is one that I love. Sepulchre of the Sinistral by Doaal. Is that supposed to be a homonym of Doaal? I suppose just saying it out loud doesn't really help, but either way, this was actually going to be the second video on this whole channel, but soon after I filmed it, my computer crashed and I lost the whole video. Ain't life grand? But I finally got around to redoing it, and I'm actually much happier with how this one turned out. And this mission is fantastic. It's got lots of objectives, a bunch of puzzles, tons of loot, and more undead than you can shake your useless blackjack at. So let's check out our objectives. We've got to get into Gladys's tomb, get 5,000 loot, get some information about the Masamune and steal the Masamune itself, along with Arek's Sceptre and the Horn of Gades. Basically, I'm robbing a fantasy pawn shop run entirely by skeletons. What could go wrong? And then we've got to get back out. So without further ado, let's rob some graves. Alright, so we start in front of this Hammerite church. We're just going to run in through the front door. There's a haunt in here. He's pretty easy to avoid because it's dark. When you take the hammer, it spawns this apparition, which is pretty cool if you enjoy having flaming hammers shot directly at your ass. But, you know, I don't want to kink shame or anything. We're going to go towards the basement. And another door to pick. Here, on this side, there is a purse behind these bricks, gold candlestick, and you can avoid a first alert from this sleeping zombie and grab the key. He's not going to alert to you unless you're on his specific level. Pretty convenient, but we're going to head back up. And this time we're going to choose this door. Climb this ladder, and we're just going to get up here. And I'll slink around to this door. We'll get the right lockpick, that's important. Just try to be quiet in this room. I'm not sure if anybody downstairs can hear us. Grab this key and a necklace next to the bed. Summon the elevator. Flip this switch to the left. That opens this door, which is very nice. Now we're just going to head outside. So let's get out the front door. And we'll swing around this side of the building. Now we're going to ready our tower key. And this is what that's for. And around to the back, there is a hidden panel on the floor. A key. Couple stacks of gold and a mask. And we can head up these stairs. Footlocker actually has arrows and a speed potion. There's a readable that mentions one of the acolytes broke his leg taking speed potions and jumping on the roof, so obviously we had to do the same thing. And this is why OSHA doesn't allow magic potions at the workplace. But of course, what I call a magic potion is what my former bosses call whiskey. Puritans. And then we'll use our key to open up the elevator room. I'll turn her into this cave. And just up here on the left, there's a sarcophagus with a gold vase. We'll jump up into the graveyard. There's a couple of nuggets inside of some graves. Just gotta be quick about grabbing them. Get right out of there. And then we'll move around where there is a convenient ramp heading up to where we need to put our earth talisman, or whatever it's called in this mission. Drop way down here. What happened here? Let you read this. That's the hand. And then rock falls. Ah, the old instant migraine booby trap. Right up here is a ring. And we'll run over to this and place a ring on the hand. And that opens this little passage. Brings us into this room. And if you just quickly grab these candlesticks. And pickpocket this guy with his little note about his deceased daughter, I guess. And we'll just leap up to, and we'll try that again. Leap up to this. That's good. There's a silver stack down here. Another piece of loot in this chest, and then we're dropping on down where we can find a nook with a mask in it. We're gonna need this. Over here there's a dead thief. There's a gem under his head. I'll let you read this if you want. So this readable talks about unquestionable faith, and that was the ring of faith, and the broken foundation of honor is what we're opening here. We'll use our mask, and that will open a trap door in that pillar over here. Then we just jump on in. So this readable is your hint that the key to Renall's is in the library of some kind. We're gonna run down here, and we're just gonna chase this hump. And he's gonna turn around right there. We're gonna slink right past him. Now, there is a piece of loot on the ground up here next to a dead zombie. I'm just gonna yoink that real quick and then get out of here. Around to this side. We're just going to jump onto this ladder from a long distance. Catch that, and we're just going to get up and out of sight, or else this guy will see us, but I think we're just barely not visible. That's good. Once he is out, we are going to jump on down. Swing around. We're going to try not to alert anybody in this room, but I don't think that's entirely possible. Grab this gold goblet, and this is a hint. Brother Atris, 11 AB to 52 AB. Important information in there, believe it or not. Now here, I'm going to rope up. There's not only a piece of loot up here, but there is the first of 7 scrolls. Erim's Legacy. I'll let you read it if you want, but I'm going to break those down later. But for now, I'm just going to drop down here and slip past this zombie as quickly as possible. And as long as he doesn't stand up, I think we're okay. It's a little less parkour and a little more please don't eat my face core. For now, we'll try to get through here without being spotted. Drop down 1 level, jump onto the ladder. there's a key on this sarcophagus. Pop back up. Right here, I'm going to rope up. Very convenient to have these wooden walkways. Just slink around. We're going to head up. This is actually close to where we entered the Sepulchre. And we'll drop into this small pool of radiance. Find another scroll. And these are all booby traps, so if you just jump on top and start grabbing them, you can easily avoid these fireballs. We're going to head into this big area. We'll jump onto this platform, this ladder. Get up here, there's a hidden switch. That opens. Grab some loot. Brother Cyrus, 12 AB to 48 AB. That's also important. There's a hidden scroll over here. And now we're going to head back. Go around the pool. The ladder to get back down. Avoid waking up any zombies. Quickly run past. Okay. And we're gonna go back. This is actually where we descended. And here is Kieran's journal. So we picked up the terror key from Cyrus's tomb, which gets us into this room where we find the Amethyst of Terror. Yeah, nothing says bad decision like glowing red eyes and surround sound. But you can easily get out of that room just by dropping down the hole. And we will swim over to this side where there is an Ankh. This Ankh will come in later. Swim up here. And this is kind of a booby-trapped room. You can just jump across these platforms and pick up the Horn of Gades. That's our objective. Not really booby-trapped because there's nothing triggered. It's just going to start shooting as soon as you enter. Then we'll head back out into the water. And we'll find our way back out over here where this ladder is. Let's jump on up. And there's a button. This readable tells you that your compass won't work, but here's where north is. North is where the ladder is, basically. So that's a good way to orient yourself. I'm going to go this way just to show you what happens. It kind of glitches out, and then it spits you out over here where you can see the hammer, and that's, once again, north. So I'm just going to read this readable. So this readable actually has instructions for how to get through this maze. So if you're stuck here, give a good hard look at what you're seeing here, and specifically if you're looking for a hint, look at the beginning of every paragraph and maybe that'll help you out. But the spoiler is that the beginning letter of each paragraph is the direction that you need to go. So we know that the ladder is north, so first we're going to go south, and then we're going to go right, left, right, left, left again, right, straight, right again, straight, and left, straight, and here you'll find the plate. Tells us we're on the right track. We'll go left, and left again, right, and we're going to go straight 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then right, go straight, left, straight, left. Oh, avoid this skeleton guy. Straight, right, and then we'll go straight twice. And that will get us to this puddle of blood. But if you look forward and just keep walking, you'll find yourself in Erim's tomb. And from here, we're just going to jump across, and we're going to swing around. Piece of loot here. Another one of the sarcophagus. There's a rope arrow down there. This guy's got a key that we're going to want. That one. And grab this jar. And we're going to pick this chest open. So another jar, and then we can go this way. I don't think this guy's going to see us. And then we'll shoot a rope arrow up here. There's a hidden piece of loot here. I'm going to stay in the shadow. There we go. There's a gem. Drop down, and there is a jar in this corner as well. And he's going to turn to the right. We're going to grab this gold nugget. And there's a hidden button right where I can't reach it. There we go. And that is going to open that panel behind that statue. But first, I'm going to rope up here because we have another scroll for Erim's legacy. And once this guy passes, I'm just going to drop back down. And wait for this guy to get out of here. Just jump up. And through this secret corridor, there's a switch, and it opens a secret door to the room with the Ruby of Death. Pick up this jar, and we are going to rope up to this platform. With a lock on a chest. Grab the Ruby of Death. Now all of these skeletons are alerted, but we can just get out of there without being seen. It's kind of a scripted thing. We'll just get straight out of there. Head over this way, past my rope. If you go to the right, that's the Ruby of Death room. We're just gonna head up the stairs and we're gonna go back out into the maze. And once you're back in the maze, it's pretty easy to warp back. And there's the hammer. And now that we're back at the hammer, we still have some unfinished business in the maze, so we have to get back to that plate area, which was straight, right, left, right. Hey, that guy spawned out of nowhere. Left, left. Then we go right, straight through here. Take a right, go straight, go left, and straight one more time. And then from here, we're going to go left, then forward, then right, and then forward one more time, and you'll see a blood stain on the ground, and the dead thief. Now we picked up Cyrus's key, and that gives us our Sceptre in the box, and then another one of Erim's legacy scrolls. Then we'll just head through here, we'll warp back to the beginning, and we are done with the maze. And as you can see, our compass just arrives, and then when you get out, it starts working again. We'll drop down, and then climb our way back up. And now we're going to rope up to the 3rd floor. This is Renall's, and you can use Renall's key here. Careful of this guy. Walk into this library. Some things we gotta read. So this tells you where the key is, and it's right over here. And after reading that, you get the monk's key. And right here we got a gold goblet. For this guy to go, and then we're actually going to rope up to this hammer. Okay, let's unstuck ourselves. Let's get unstuck here. And there's another one of Erim's legacy scrolls. Grab that, and seems like he's not too bothered. And we'll use the key on this door. Place the object you wish to bless on the sacred table, so the Ankh becomes the blessed Ankh. And now we can get into the Temple of Amon. Hello, sir. Through the Chamber of Infidels. So we'll jump into the water, and you might notice that there is no breath meter. See, I blessed that Ankh, and now I can breathe underwater. Honestly, if religion worked like this in real life, I'd have been baptized years ago. We'll pick up another one of Erim's legacy scrolls. And there is a lot of loot items in this water, so it will do you good to explore a lot. And you can see one right there. But first we're going to head up this direction. There are 3 blue chests, I think, underwater, and this is the only one with loot as far as I can remember. The other 2 I think just have water arrows in them. Then we'll head over this way, and we'll ignore that chest, and we'll grab this piece of loot over here. Now in this next section, we're just going to actually go up. There's a silver nugget on that. Then up where we can find another jar. Then we'll go back down, and I need my compass. I gotta figure out which way I'm going. I gotta go south, so let's go that way. And as you can see, another piece of loot waiting for us. this direction. We'll go down. Swim past some dead bodies. And there is our final piece of loot in Amon's temple is this blue gem. And now we're going to grab the Sapphire of Chaos, and as you can see, our breath meter has returned and our Ankh is no longer blessed. So we will just try to speed through this area as fast as possible and get back to some air. Up this way. Up and around. And there we go, with plenty of time to spare. Now, we are going to go get the Masamune. And that is way down here. We need all 3 gems before we can even get to the area with the Masamune. For this haunt to pass. And we'll head this way, drop down, and not disturbing anyone. We're just going to keep climbing down to the lowest level that we can get to. Over here, this ladder, past that, and this is the right area. 2 apparitions patrolling around. And we'll just need to swing into here. Now we've got to use the gems on each one of these pedestals. And that tells us we're on the right track to the Masamune. And once you do that, a panel opens up in the floor and you can drop down. And then we're going to just get out, read this. Now we're entering an area with a bunch of reworked tree beasts that behave like zombies, it seems. And I found that you can actually just keep sneaking, and then occasionally you just hug the left wall in order to avoid one of these guys coming after you. Stay right here. Just me sneaking past a pile of walking anatomy diagrams. Don't mind me, I'm just auditing the course. Climb up this ladder and get over here, and if we're quick enough we can get onto the next ladder. And this is the Masamune.
Time to take my new sword and get out of this crazy place.
Sneak back out. Constantly avoid these guys. I think we'll be able to get out now. And we'll round this corner, and just by frobbing this skull, we'll get ourselves back to the main area. Let's flip this switch, open this door, and drop on down. And we have one last thing to do before we get out of here. I'm gonna just avoid this haunt by dropping down onto this ladder. And now we've come to the incredibly loud room, and this is where all of those 7 scrolls come in. Together they're basically a logic puzzle. So I've taken a moment to summarize each one numbered by how they appeared in my inventory. The first one basically says, only one scroll is true, which would mean that that's the only true scroll. So I guess we're done here? Let's keep reading. The second one says there's no scroll in the Temple of Amon, but we definitely found a scroll in the sunken depths of Amon's temple, so that one's not true. 3 says 3 scrolls are true, and the key one is in the maze. Since this scroll directly contradicts the first one, and we did find a scroll in the maze, it seems like of just those 2, this is the correct one. 4 says there's a key in the Temple of Amon, but we didn't find any key or a scroll of any real significance there, so that one seems inaccurate. 5 says the key is not in the maze. Okay. 6 says to light 3 paths and that time is the key. That sounds more like some kind of hint, so put a pin in that. And number 7 is the one we found in the maze. Atris's death, 52, equals Sirius's birth, 12. Now, when does 52 equal 12 in the context of time? If you're stuck here, it might take a couple of minutes of thought, but I think it's worth it. When the answer finally dawned on me, and I'm about to spoil it here, so pause it if you don't want to spoil it. When it dawned on me, it was when I realized that there's 12 months in a year and 52 weeks in a year. Your days are numbered seems to indicate the 365 days of the year. So looking at this room then, we have 12 torches in a circle, sort of like a clock, with the gold guy at 12. So we just lit the number 3. This would be 6. And this one over here is going to be 5. That opens up a stairwell, but first let's grab all the pieces of loot that we couldn't get before. Everything out of these chests. Now that we're down here, the good news is I can't hear the music anymore. The bad news is I don't think I can hear anything anymore. And we come upon this chest, which we're going to pick open. And it's got 3 stone potions. So this tells us that we can use the potion to be turned into stone, which I think I might be able to find a good use for that. Let's get out of here. And we'll head down this ladder. Hopefully not disturbing the zombies. Now, just drop down here, and then we're gonna get into this room. Now there's a large abyss. So if we just drop down here and use our stone potion, we can land safely.
Try that again.
And then we can get into this room. And here, sneaky one Kenobi. There's a torque. And there is another secret down here. There's a switch. And that opens this panel, which has a gold nugget and the Mace of Destruction. Alright, not sure what that's about. And now we just zap our way back up. And I will show you at the end of the video what this Mace of Destruction does. For now, we're going to head out. We're headed to the left now. We've got Salon the Infidel, and if you use the Masamune on this, it opens up, and you can get up some stairs. And then there's a door. Now, through here, we'll find a book. Now we're gonna head back around to this pillar. There is a button very high up, very well hidden, and a book down low over here. And as you can see, we are back in the beginning area, and that button opened up this room with a lot of pieces of loot, including a torque and another message. Okay. We are on our way out. And now we're back in the graveyard. We'll just go to the gate. We're going to use Brother Ozma's key to open it. And we'll just swing around the side of the church back to our starting area. There you have it. And those are all of our objectives, and as you can see, in 32.5 minutes, we got 14,775 loot in both pickpockets. So yeah, that's Sepulchre of the Sinistral. I thought this was a fantastic mission when I first played it, because it reminded me so much of the game Myst. You ever play Myst? How about Riven, the sequel to Myst? That's a very challenging series. If you ever get a chance, seriously check it out. But I can tell that the person who made this mission is obviously a fan, because there's more than a few subtle references to that game with the names that are chosen in this, such as Cyrus, and the name Atreus seems to be taken from Atreus from Myst. But either way, I think this was a perfectly challenging mission. It had a lot of very cool things, and it's not often that you see more logic-based puzzles in Thief fan missions. I think it would be great to see more of them, but there's a lot in this mission that is very challenging. You gotta find all 3 of those gems, you gotta get through that maze, which was a very difficult thing to do when I first played it. And that was a great one, but if there is something to criticize about this mission, it's that, maybe there's replay value with this, but you basically go through the entire mission picking up these scrolls, and if you're even capable of solving that puzzle at all, you are rewarded with the thing you have needed this entire time, and now that the mission's over, you finally have it. So I guess maybe if you came back and played the mission again, you could immediately get the Mace of Destruction and really go to town on this mission, but this is what the Mace of Destruction is capable of. Oh! Boom! Just take him out right in the face. And because I'm a true gamer, but yeah, so that's Sepulchre of the Sinistral by Doaal. Thank you so much, Doaal, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, because I like to make strangers on the internet click buttons. This is Jacko's Ghost, the Keeper's Whisper, the Hammer's Prey, and I vanish.
He's dead. Let's head back now.